Ever get that feeling? Like
Yeah.
you're standing at a crossroads and every path looks kind of blurry. You just don't know which one's really meant for you.
Yeah. Like you're searching for that inner compass to point you in the right direction. A lot of folks can relate to that when it comes to those big life choices.
Exactly. So today, we're going deep with Carl Jung and his whole idea of individuation. It's like a quest to uncover the real you.
Right. Figure out your deepest nature and what you're really capable of.
Totally.
Yeah.
And hopefully see how his ideas can, help you, the listener, tap into that potential. Make choices that actually fit with who you are at the core, not just what everyone else expects.
You hit the nail on the head. Like Jung said, this self-discovery journey can really light up the path to your full potential.
And by true potential, we don't mean like becoming some perfect superhuman. It's more about those things you just excel at.
Yeah.
Effortlessly.
It's like, you're in the flow.
Exactly. That skill or talent that feels like it's just a part of you. Yeah, like some people are just naturals at connecting with anyone.
Right. Or someone who sees patterns that others miss. It's about noticing and really developing those inborn abilities.
So we've been digging into some fascinating excerpts about Jung's philosophy. And we'll try to make it practical for you, our listeners, help you on your own journey of self-discovery.
Absolutely. Pull out those key lessons, some real nuggets of wisdom.
First up, don't let others define you. Jung had this powerful quote, "The world will ask you who you are, and if you don't know, the world will tell you."
Whoa. Hits hard, doesn't it? It's risky to let other people's opinions shape who you are. If you don't know yourself well, you become kind of fragile. You bend to their expectations.
And you end up living someone else's life, not yours.
Right. And often those loud voices, those opinions, they're more about their insecurities, not your true potential.
Yeah, we face so much pressure from society.
Yeah.
Like how to act, what we should want, how to live. It's like this programming starts from day one.
It's natural to want to belong, especially when we're young. But if we don't build our own sense of self, we just become copies of other people's expectations.
So how do we break free from that?
You got to look inward. Be really honest with yourself.
Right. Ask yourself, what do I truly value? For example, is it security? Or like, do you crave freedom?
Yeah, good point. Do you thrive on competition, or does collaboration feel better?
Love that. Are you excited by the unknown, or do you like routine?
That self-reflection is so important. Knowing your core values is like the foundation for a real, authentic identity.
It helps you make choices that feel right for you,
Yeah.
not for someone else.
Exactly. And don't try to force yourself into a box that doesn't fit. If you're an introvert, you don't have to be the life of the party every weekend.
It'll just drain you.
Yeah, you got to embrace who you are. Trying to be someone you're not, that's exhausting.
And figuring out who you are, it's not a one-time thing, right? It's more like a constant exploration.
It is. You're always learning, questioning, refining.
So for you listening, the key is to really find your own style, your own voice, your own way of doing things.
It's the only way to know what you're truly capable of.
And then to live a life that has real meaning for you.
Couldn't agree more. Knowing yourself is the first step to unlocking your full potential.
Okay, moving on to lesson 2. Understand your passions. Jung had this vivid line. A man who has not passed through the inferno of his passions has never overcome them. Wow, intense, right?
It is, but it gets the point across. Don't bury your emotions. Face them head on.
Jung believed those unaddressed desires, those ones we kind of push down, they can cause a lot of inner conflict.
And passions, they're not always like these huge ambitions. Sometimes it's a quiet curiosity, an activity that makes you forget time.
Those can be the most powerful ones, actually.
Right. Those subtle hints are often your deepest callings. Ironically, avoiding uncomfortable feelings often makes them stronger.
They kind of brew under the surface and mess with your behavior without you even realizing it.
Exactly. And they make you doubt what you're capable of. They can even amp up your anxiety.
It's like repression leads to a more passive way of living.
Yeah. You might withdraw, avoid situations that trigger those buried feelings. Basically, you spend a lot of energy running away from yourself.
So how does this actually show up in someone's life?
Imagine someone who loves writing. They have this gift for storytelling, but when they were younger, they got slammed with criticism.
Ouch.
Yeah. And that experience sticks with them. They're scared to share their work, so they avoid any opportunity to write, basically shutting down a talent that could have brought them joy.
That's heartbreaking. How do we even begin to reconnect with those passions that might be hidden under fear?
Journaling can be great. It helps you process those complex emotions and see patterns.
I love that.
Dream analysis, something Jung focused on, can also give you a peek into your unconscious, maybe hint at some hidden passions. And just giving yourself permission to explore different things without judgment can be huge.
Like, what if I tried this? And not worrying about being perfect at it.
Exactly. Just see what sparks your interest.
Earlier, we mentioned fear of public speaking. How do you heal from something like that, where passion is hidden behind a wall of fear?
It often means facing the fear, but slowly and safely. Like, maybe join a public speaking workshop. You can practice in a supportive environment.
It's about proving that old fear wrong.
Right. You realize the fear's from the past and doesn't reflect who you are now.
It seems like connecting with our passions isn't just about feeling good. It's about understanding who we really are.
It is. We integrate those emotions and desires into our identity, instead of keeping them locked away where they can cause trouble.
So be brave and explore those things that light you up.
Absolutely.
Lesson 3 looks ahead. Focus on the person you wish to be. Jung said, "I am not what happened to me, I am what I choose to become."
Powerful stuff, right?
It puts the control back in your hands.
Yeah, Jung acknowledged the impact of past experiences. Even this thing he called the collective unconscious. Like the shared human experience, universal patterns across cultures and time.
Exactly. But he emphasized our ability to choose who we become.
Right. So it's about deciding who you want to be, bringing all the parts of yourself together, even those that feel, kind of immature or not so great.
That's individuation, right?
Yeah.
Integrating everything to become a more complete person.
Exactly. Our past doesn't define us. It's the direction we choose that shapes us.
What happens if we don't have that clear direction?
We can get stuck in those old, painful patterns from the past. Jung said our unconscious mind tries to revisit unresolved situations, especially from childhood.
Like it's searching for a better ending.
Yeah, exactly.
Could you give us a real-life example of how that plays out?
Say someone grew up feeling emotionally neglected. They might find themselves drawn to relationships where they experience that same neglect.
Because it feels familiar, even though it hurts.
Right. Maybe driven by a fear of abandonment, even if it causes them pain.
So having a clear vision of the future we want is key to breaking free from those old patterns.
It is. You create a plan and focus your energy on that vision. You actively steer yourself away from those unconscious pulls.
And it takes honesty to learn from the past without letting it control you.
Yeah, absolutely.
So we're not just the sum of our experiences. We're defined by the choices we make.
Exactly. Take the time to figure out what you want to become and commit to it.
Lesson 4 addresses a huge obstacle. Free yourself from your addictions. Jung had a pretty broad definition. Every form of addiction is bad, no matter whether the narcotic be alcohol, morphine, or idealism. That goes way beyond substances, right?
It does. He recognized that dependence comes in many forms: emotional, intellectual, even behavioral.
They can all hold you back from self-discovery.
Totally. Addiction is a complex issue. It impacts us on so many levels. And Jung noticed that it's often a way to escape from parts of ourselves we don't want to face.
Even something like being too attached to idealism.
Yeah, clinging to an unrealistic view of how things should be.
So how does clinging to idealism hold us back?
Well, it stops us from seeing problems clearly. We get stuck in wishful thinking instead of dealing with reality.
So if we're unhappy with our health or our job, the solution isn't to just ignore it and hope for the best.
Right. You got to acknowledge those issues and take action. Addiction, in any form, disconnects you from your true self.
Which makes it harder to find real solutions.
Exactly.
So taking back control means being responsible for changing what's making you unhappy.
That's a big part of it. You rebuild that relationship with yourself. Learn to listen to your own inner voice without all the distractions.
So face reality head on. That's the only way to change it.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
Lesson 5 is about self-awareness. Be honest about your capabilities.
Yeah.
Put it bluntly. You are what you do, not what you say you'll do. Actions over words, huh?
It's about walking the walk, not just talking the talk.
So individuation means aligning our actions with what we can actually achieve. And as we get older, it's even more important to be realistic about our limits.
Absolutely. It's about knowing what you can realistically do. Whether it's school, work, relationships, don't make promises you can't keep.
Because that just damages trust.
It does.
It's good to push yourself, but you also need to know your limits.
Right. And accepting your limitations, it's not giving up.
It's wisdom.
Exactly. It helps you make smarter choices. Put your energy into the areas where your talents really shine. If you keep hitting a wall, maybe it's time to try a different approach.
So be honest with yourself about what you can and can't do,
Yeah, it helps you find a path that actually suits you.
and allows you to excel in those areas where you naturally shine.
That's when you really find fulfillment.
Lesson 6 offers a different perspective. Turn your weaknesses into strengths. Jung admitted, "I have regretted many follies that my stubbornness has caused me, but without that trait, I should not have reached my goal."
That's surprising, right?
It is, but it shows that even those traits we see as negative can be powerful if we use them right.
It's all about how you channel them. Exactly. It's not about fighting who you are. It's about working with your natural tendencies.
So instead of trying to erase those weaknesses, try to understand them.
Right. Maybe even make a list of traits you've been criticized for and see if they could be valuable in different situations.
So focus on what you're good at, but don't be afraid of those other parts of yourself.
You might find that they actually make you unique.
Like that highly sensitive person who might be amazing at art or music.
Exactly. They could be criticized for being too emotional, but that same sensitivity fuels their creativity.
Jung's all about embracing all those parts of yourself.
Yeah. True growth comes from recognizing your unique blend of traits.
And maybe they'll lead you down unexpected paths.
Absolutely.
Lesson 7 is about something deep. Find a connection with the infinite. Jung asked, the decisive question for man is he related to something infinite or not? That is the telling question of his life.
Makes you think, right? It does. That search for meaning is, it's essential. Jung believed that connecting to something bigger than yourself can bring peace and stability.
It's about finding that sense of purpose, that context for your life.
Yeah, like you're part of something bigger, and that can really ease your worries.
And this doesn't have to be religious, right?
Nope. It could be spiritual, philosophical, or even just a deep appreciation for nature. The key is to see your life as part of a larger, more meaningful whole.
So how do we actually cultivate this connection?
Reflecting on the universe can be powerful. Think about how everything is connected, how we all share the same origins.
That's amazing when you think about it.
It is. You can also focus on your impact on the world, even small acts of kindness. Those things connect you to something larger than yourself.
It's a personal journey to find what resonates with you.
Right. Some people find it in faith, others in the mysteries of the cosmos.
Or love for their kids, nature, art, music.
Exactly. What matters is finding what makes you feel part of something greater.
And that feeling doesn't just make you feel good. It fuels your desire to reach your full potential.
Absolutely. You want to contribute your best when you feel connected to something larger than yourself.
Oh, okay. Last lesson, number 8. Dedicate time to introspection. Jung said, you must be alone to find out what supports you. When you find that you cannot support yourself, you must allow yourself to fall. That's about the importance of solitude, right?
It is. Alone time is crucial for healing, for reconnecting with yourself. It helps you understand what truly matters.
In our busy lives, we often ignore those inner needs and that inner voice.
Solitude gives you space to listen, to figure out what truly motivates you.
Especially when you're going through a tough time or feeling lost.
Absolutely.
Taking time to reflect can help you redefine what happiness and success mean to you.
And it can shift your focus away from external things like money and status.
So what kinds of questions should we ask ourselves in those moments of introspection?
Ask yourself, what makes me truly happy? What would I do if money didn't matter? What would I pursue if I didn't care about other people's approval?
Those questions get to the heart of it.
Yeah, they reveal your true passions. And remember, self-discovery is an ongoing process. You need to keep checking in with yourself.
So solitude isn't something to fear. It's a chance for growth.
Exactly. It's a time to understand yourself better, realign your priorities, and reconnect with what drives you.
As we wrap up this deep dive, take a moment for some introspection. Are you being honest about what you can do and what you can't? Are you turning those so-called weaknesses into strengths? Have you found that connection to something larger than yourself? And do you spend time alone with your thoughts?
Those are the big questions, the ones that guide us on our journey of individuation.
Remember, becoming your true self is a process. It takes time. And every step you take towards growth is a victory. You're not alone on this path. Hopefully, Jung's insights can help you on your journey.
Think about which of these ideas really hit home for you.
And most importantly, what's one small action you can take today to honor who you are?
Even a tiny step can set you in a new direction.
So one last thought. Your true potential starts to unfold when you decide to be your most authentic self.